A Year to the Day is a book that opens 365 days after a 17-year-old girl is killed in a car accident. Drunk driver hits her. She dies, but her younger sister and her boyfriend, the girl who's past boyfriend, survive. And it opens 365 days after the accident, and the book ends the night before the accident. So it goes back in time. I will never write a book like that again. I am deeply proud of A Year to the Day and the work that it took and just the structure of it. But wow, to write a book backwards. I wrote it forwards, but then every time I finished a chapter, I would make the next chapter the first chapter of the document. So structurally, it was backwards, but I wrote it forward and then went back and started changing scenes and moments and how we meet characters. And it was probably the biggest undertaking I've ever taken in a book before. Just the copy edits alone were a nightmare, trying to make sure everything was linear. And, if I said this was Thursday, that it's not happening on a Tuesday. But the thing I really loved about A Year to the Day is the younger sister who narrates the story does not remember the accident, does not remember what led up to it, whether it's not a brain injury so much as an emotional protection on her part. So by the end of the book, of course, the reader knows what's happened. We see it. So I loved the idea of the reader being complicit in that secret in a way that the main character isn't, that doesn't know. And I liked the idea of the reader having more information than the main character. And I think that's hopefully what I was able to achieve with that. I do a lot of school visits, obviously, writing young adult, and I just did one last week in Philadelphia. And what I always say to them is tenacity always beats talent. Like, you have to have a talent for sure. We all know many, many talented people who, for whatever reason, I'm not saying they gave up, it was too hard and they gave up. There's many reasons why we don't always get to fulfill the talent that we have or to fully express it. But I say, always find a way to keep moving forward if you can, because that's what really separates out people who are successful from people who maybe didn't get to accomplish as much as they wanted. It's not easy. It's okay to have a side hustle. It's okay to have a day job, get your health insurance, whatever it is you need to do. But a failure doesn't mean that it's over. And I think, especially now with kids growing up, failure is a very foreign concept to them, or the idea of, okay, you failed. Now, how do you get back up on your feet and get back up again? So that's what I try to impart, especially to new writers, to younger readers, to younger people, is that failure is just a step. It's not an end.